A-Block, the lead. That's the first story.
People say you're the perfect idiot, Greg. I say you're not perfect, but you're doing all right.
Ah, thank you. He's on a vain campaign. Brad Jenkins, seen here, an associate director in the White House Office of Public Engagement, whatever that means, usually spends his time getting Hollywood celebrities to push Obama's agenda. Now he wants their vote. On Monday, he had his intern write to the artist's email list explaining, quote, I know Brad would be honored if you voted for his nomination for the Hill's Most Beautiful List for 2014. Please share on Facebook and Twitter, whatever that is, Mike. Well, we knew the White House was concerned about appearances. The email included Jenkins' bio on the voting page, which notes that he was, quote, part of the brains behind President Obama's Emmy-nominated appearance on Between Two Ferns. Jenkins' campaign is the subject of tonight's Backed by popular demand, it's another edition of Red Eyes Only in Obama's America. In addition to our regular panelists, we've also got a great group of folks here, our special audience panel. Welcome, everyone. I hope I can get to all of you in time. I know you must have some insightful things to say. Quite a bunch, though, I must say.
Really. We're just not going to have time.
No, I don't think we are, but they seem quite well behaved. Let me start with Jim. So this guy works for us, the government. And he's busy trying to get on a best-looking list in a local paper, only in Obama's America.
Well, I think a man like Brad Jenkins wouldn't need any help, Greg. He's obviously very dreamy and would have won hands down.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Why did he need to do this?
I don't know. He's probably just a little bit vain. But, you know, vanity goes with that job. Andy?
Couldn't agree more, Jim.
Wow. I like the fact that you two pal around. Adds a little bit of, I don't know, lightheartedness to the panel. Mike, you're beautiful. I think everybody knows that. You don't need an intern to go pressure people to vote for you. This is pretty shameless and vain, and might I add, only in Obama's America.
Well, I think you're right, but I have to correct you. I mean, we have a full complement of interns, particularly during the summer at Diligence, and I have several of them, actually. They're still at the office right now. Voting for me and getting their friends to vote for me for sexiest intelligence and security CEO of 2014.
Wow.
I'm running with the Sentinel CEO.
Wow.
But my only concern with this story is that maybe I'm wrong because I don't understand anything about it, but I think he's violating the Hatch Act.
Really?
I think so.
I don't understand that.
Neither do I, but I heard it today out of sort of when I wasn't paying attention, and it sounded good.
Yes.
So yeah, I think he's violating the Hatch Act.
I always wanted to have a hatch.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my room, like, so I could go down and hide.
Yeah, so
like
in the back of your pajamas.
Oh, yes, that was my, I still have one of those hatches. That's because I have a bit of an IBS problem. You never know.
Escape and entry hatch.
Exactly. You know, that's unnecessary. Andy, in his bio, on the Hill's website, okay, it says his 11-month-old daughter's photos on Facebook gets likes from the rapper Common and actress, get this, wait, it's Connie Britton.
I know.
I know. So name dropping is a sign of beauty as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I really should have looked at that question because that was one of my talking points. There are so many hilarious levels to how disgusting this story is.
Yeah.
First, you have a guy who cares about being on this stupid list.
Right.
Then you have the fact that it's a 50 most beautiful list for Washington, D.C., which is sort of like a list of the 50 most conservative people at MSNBC.
Yeah.
Or the 50 smartest people at Media Matters.
Are you saying D.C. is populated with trolls?
Yeah.
Basically,
You're saying they're hideous.
Yeah, basically.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Pathetically
Then
ugly.
he had, as you said, an intern use the White House email list for this, which a clear violation of the Hatch Act, I think.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. And then to top it off, after BuzzFeed's Chris Geidner wrote this article, he got a tweet from the Hill's director of audience engagement saying, saw your story on seeking votes for the Hill's list. Here's the link if you want to add it. So she's looking at this as publicity for them to get people to vote, and he's writing the story saying, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It's disgusting in Obama's America
Only
that this
in
would happen.
Obama's
Only in
America,
Obama's
though,
America.
right, yeah.
Joanne, you're our chief female on the panel. Do you find this man beautiful or just simply repulsive in his desperation to be noticed?
I find him really good looking, but this is a family show.
Yeah, really.
So I can't really go into detail about what I really think.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating about this, I really appreciate his vigor.
Yes.
that he's using. He's really enthusiastic about this award to be called beautiful. But this was only for nominations.
I know.
That all of these emails are going out. What is he going to do as voting continues? I mean, what is he going to bake cookies? Like, how far is this going to go?
Yeah, what's he going to do for the talent portion?
Exactly. Well, I have a few suggestions for my own. Jim, did the intern narc on him? Because then that intern is awesome for doing the nation's work.
I imagine that the emails went out and somebody just caught wind, and it's not a violation of the Hatch Act because it does not cover electronic communication.
Oh, it doesn't.
Wow. It was written in 1740.
Wow.
It doesn't cover emails.
I keep forgetting that
That
Jim's
was
a
Orrin Hatch's
constitutionalist.
second term, I think, wasn't
It
it?
was actually the Hatch Act. Yeah.
This is the type of guy, Baker, who, if he would have made the list, would then say, "Oh, I'm not interested in such trivialities."
Right.
Even though I had a buddy of mine who wanted to get in the 30 under 30 for some Business Week magazine, and he tried. He had people calling, and then when he got on, it was like, "Oh, I'm not that
Yeah,
interested."
let me know.
Yeah,
Really. Honestly, I'm far too busy for that. It would have been a great pickup line for him, though.
Yeah,
in
that's
some
what
of those bars in D.C.
Yeah. And he would have the magazine on his coffee table, and he would do the David Brent thing, where he'd push it at you, he'd slide it at you, like you'd be sitting down, and he'd go like, and then when you went, so you can't see what I'm doing, but he would be moving it around like this, so wherever you put your hand, it would land on the magazine. It'd be like, the guy would go for his drink, and he'd go, "Oh, how about right here?"
That just points out we should have a camera overhead the table, so for those gags, you could.
Yeah, nobody had any idea what I was talking about. And frankly, it's a shame because I was making a really good point.
You got to say one thing about this guy Jenkins. His job is outreach to Hollywood celebrities.
Yes.
In this administration, that makes him like the most important person in
That's
the world.
true. He's like our vice president.
Yeah.
Now, and Biden is actually lower than him.